Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and these are the AirPods Pro 3. They come in at $249, so no price increase over the previous model. So I thought we'd unbox them, take a closer look at them, see what features they have to offer, and compare them with the AirPods Pro 2 with sound quality and more. Apple was nice enough to send this along a little bit early. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. Now, as you can see, it says AirPods Pro 3, and unfortunately I already pulled the pull tabs off and didn't hit record on the camera. So I'll show you what's inside, but just wanted to clarify that. If we open it up, you'll see we have some paperwork here. So typically with any AirPods or Apple product, we have sort of a quick start guide of how to use it, things like that. And we also have some extra small ear tips this time around. So we have an additional size with regulatory information, paperwork, and everything else. Let's set this aside and we'll take a closer look at the AirPods. So place that in here. And you can see the AirPods. Again, I pulled this off before and then realized I didn't hit record. So let's go ahead and slide this off here and take a closer look. So we'll slide this back off of the AirPods case. There's the AirPods. And also, like I mentioned before, we get different ear tip sizes this year. So we have a few different ones. We have extra small, small and large, and I would believe that the ones installed here are probably medium. So we'll close this up and let's take a closer look at the AirPods themselves. If we take a look at the case itself, the first thing you'll notice is we don't have a button on the back like the AirPods Pro 2. Instead, we have a touch button just like the AirPods 4. So they've sort of gone to that same style where there's just sort of a touch button. You can tap on the front of the case and reset them. So double tap and hold and reset. And then we have some speakers and things on the bottom along with USB-C. You can also wirelessly charge it as well. And let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at the AirPods Pro 3. Now, these ear tips have a new design as well, so they sit more directly into your ear, according to Apple, and face your eardrum a little bit more accurately and should help with overall sound. The foam-infused ear tips are something that's new, so you get the benefits of foam, but it's enclosed in silicone, so it doesn't absorb sweat or change the sound. And if we try and remove them, they're definitely really on there this time. It looks like it's a little bit deeper too, and these are not compatible with AirPods Pro 2. They're redesigned and a little bit different, but they are foam infused at the end, and you may be able to see there's a slight ring there here as well. So if we push on it, it looks like there's a ring, so that should really help make them comfortable and seal a little bit better. They also have some new ultra-low noise microphones, new multi-port acoustic architecture, and Apple says it delivers deeper bass, vocal clarity, and a wide soundstage, and it's still utilizing the H2 chipset. There's also IP57 dust, sweat, and water resistance. Now, if we compare it with AirPods Pro 2, let's make sure we have the same side here. You'll see side by side, they're definitely different. So a top-down view, you can see it's angled a little bit differently. The ports are a little bit different. So in my right hand here, again, is AirPods Pro 3. You'll see the port is a little bit bigger. And then on the top, the sensors and ports have changed. And then we have the sensor here, and this is your heart rate sensor. So this actually can measure your heart rate with LEDs that pulse in visible light at 256 times per second. And then fusion from the accelerometers give it accurate data for up to 50 types of workouts in the fitness app. So we'll take a closer look at that in a little bit. But you can see what they look like, just a little bit different. If we take a closer look at the bottom here, again, they're slightly different as far as the way they look, but fairly familiar, but slightly different shaped. Let me go ahead and get these set up. So we'll connect them to the iPhone here. So I'll bring in my iPhone, get them connected. There we go. It flashes and now it's going to connect. So you'll see there we go. It says control your AirPods by moving your head. We'll turn that on. It says track a workout with heart rate. When you start a workout with the fitness app or supported third-party workout apps, AirPods Pro can provide your heart rate and motion data. We'll tap continue. We can utilize live translation, so set that up now. We can select the language we want, so maybe we'll have it translate French, German, Portuguese, and Spanish. Why not? And then it says protect and enhance your hearing. So we can take a hearing test like we normally could. And now it says Aaron's AirPods Pro number 2, since it's not labeling it 3, so we'll change that in a moment. And then we'll tap done. So it says, there we go, Find My, we're at 49%, and let me go ahead and place them in my ears and see what they're like. So for me, they're definitely a little bit too large, so let's go ahead and swap these out here. And we'll switch them out to probably small here. And these hold on very securely, so they're definitely not coming off. Now let me test them with the smaller size. Definitely a lot better. They feel very comfortable and feel much better actually than the AirPods Pro 2 as far as being sort of really firmly in your ear. So you can see the name here. Let me change this so that I can figure out what it is. So you can just change this. And I find this if you have multiple AirPods, you can just set it up as AirPods Pro 3. There we go. We'll set it back. And now it should recommend or realize that it's AirPods Pro 3. So when you connect them, you'll see we can take a hearing test. And then, of course, we have all of the latest updates from iOS 26 with camera remote I've shown in different videos, and also personalized audio, adaptive audio, connect this to iPhone, and also we have translation as well. So microphone, automatic, pause media when falling asleep, also an iOS 26 update. And you can see down at the bottom where we have the firmware 8A354. So these are the latest version with the current model number. Now, when it comes to battery life, you can see they're currently at 70% on one, 38% on the other, and 49% for the case. Apple says that they're now good for 8 hours with active noise cancellation enabled, so 2 hours more than AirPods Pro 2. That will be great for a flight if you're maybe going across the United States or somewhere else. And the great thing is, for those using it in accessibility with maybe the hearing aid option, it lasts 67% more on battery compared to AirPods Pro 2, which means up to 10 hours of battery life. That's great for those using this, and they've also improved things such as voice clarity and conversation boost for accessibility. Now, as far as the heart rate sensing, like I mentioned before, we have that sensor here, and if I place them in my ears, it should work with a workout. And it should work with a workout even if I'm not using my Apple Watch. But if I am using my Apple Watch, it will sort of correlate the data, make sure it's getting the most accurate reading, and use what works best. So let me remove this from my wrist, and then we'll go into workouts on the iPhone and see what this is like. So if we go into fitness here, if we go into workout, maybe we'll just go for an outdoor walk and see if it measures our heart rate. So we'll go ahead and start this. Now it's started, and you can see it's actually measuring my heart rate while I'm just sitting here. So I don't have the Apple Watch on or anything, and it's measuring from the AirPods themselves. I'm hearing music in my ears, and then we'll get that measurement. So maybe you just don't want to wear an Apple Watch all the time. You can bring your phone and your AirPods and still get that measurement with it. So it works seamlessly and seems to work just like you would expect. Apple says they've greatly improved the microphone on the AirPods, so I thought we'd take a look at that since we can now select this as a microphone in our camera app thanks to iOS 26. So if we go into our camera app, you'll see here I am. If we are now in here, you'll see that we have camera in our control center, and then we can select the input where it says Aaron's AirPods Pro 3. So we can tell it we want to use this microphone instead of the iPhone. So let's first try it with the iPhone, then we'll try it with the AirPods. So let's go back here. Let's rotate the camera. So now you're listening to the microphone from the iPhone in standard mode. So I don't have it on automatic or anything else as far as background noise cancellation. Let me switch to the AirPods Pro 3 and see what they sound like now. Now we're recording with the AirPods Pro 3. Let me tap on them to see if it's recording from one or both. So that gives you an idea of what it's recording from. And of course, I won't hear this until I'm actually editing the video. So let me know what you think of it compared to the standard iPhone microphone below. So now I'll go ahead and try out the AirPods Pro 3, see what they sound like, and test out active noise cancellation and transparency as well. Now, before we talk about sound quality, let's first talk about the fit, as these feel a little bit more snug in your ear, probably due to the foam-infused ear tips, as well as the overall design being more direct in your ear canal. So they feel like they're not going to fall out at all. I didn't have issues with the AirPods Pro 2, but these feel even more secure. As far as sound quality, I listened to a few different types of music with rap and rock and others as well to sort of get an overall general feel for them, and I'm very impressed. When I switched between the AirPods Pro 2 and AirPods Pro 3, I immediately wanted to go back to the AirPods Pro 3 as they just sound much more full. There's much deeper bass, the highs are more pronounced or vocals are more pronounced, and the midtones I even noticed some guitar I wouldn't typically notice as well. So very impressive overall. When it comes to active noise cancellation, I did a little test where I just snapped my fingers sort of at the same volume, and with these compared to the AirPods Pro 2, there is a noticeable difference. probably due to the seal inside the ear as well as the fit, but also the new microphone. So again, definitely noticeable that it's better, and transparency was easily noticeable that it was better. Maybe that's due to the microphone improvement, but overall I could tell my voice sounded more natural and was much better than I expected. So very, very impressed as far as my first impression of sound quality, but it will take some time to determine what they're like over time, but I'm fairly impressed and can't wait to continue using them. Now we do have live translate as well, so let's go ahead and go into this. And what we do typically is go into our settings, and if you have that enabled, so I'll make sure transparency's on here. In our settings, we'll just tap on this, go back to transparency mode here, so now it's easier to hear myself. And if we go into our AirPods settings, scroll down, you'll see that we have translation in beta. In order to start live translation, it says press and hold both AirPods to start live translation. You can do that from here or anywhere in the OS, but let's go to the Translate app just so you can see it. You can start there or just press and hold the AirPods. It goes in and says translating Spanish and then translates in real time. So you'll see here what I'm saying in English and then translated to Spanish below. And this is all done on device. It's not sending information to the cloud to translate it. It's on device securely. So if you have someone else with AirPods, you can translate back and forth with it and also hear what they're saying in AirPods as well. So that's something that's been updated that seems to work really well, and hopefully they add more languages very, very soon. Now, the other thing with these is we have an updated chip within the charging case to allow for 1.5 times distance when it comes to locating your AirPods using ultra wideband. So maybe you've misplaced these, maybe you've left them at home somewhere. We'll place them over here. And if we go into Find My, so we have AirPods Pro 3, we'll go to Find Nearby, and you'll see it says 0.6 feet, and then we can locate it, and there's the case. But if we go over here, if I move them off to the side here, it's telling me they're over this way, and if I bring them closer, it now says here, and I feel haptic feedback. So this works really well. We can play a sound. You'll hear it there. It works great. I've used it on AirPods Pro 2, but you can use it even further now with AirPods Pro 3. So that's everything with the AirPods Pro 3. I'm very impressed with the overall sound, the way they fit. It's very comfortable. I don't find these to be itchy like some of the AirPods Pro 2 tips seem to be, and they're just very comfortable overall. The sound quality has Apple's next generation adaptive EQ for a better sound signature, and I definitely believe it because they sound much, much better. I noticed right away, and I can't wait to see what others say about it, but I think you'll see that they're mostly impressed, as it just has a great sound. The noise cancellation is definitely better, and also transparency is better due to the microphones and sound signature. So I'm pretty impressed with it overall. I'll be buying some for myself as well. Let me know what you think of them, if you'd like a full review after I've used them for a week, and if you have any other questions, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.